Hi everybody, it's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blue Shirt
Underground Show,
the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in and find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers!
Blue Shirt Underground, motherfucker!
BS Ranger fan. BS Ranger fan. This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Oh, Joe. We're in the middle of it now. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Shirt Underground Show. Full-blown panic. It is a true Ranger crisis, which I have heard bandied about several places.
Oh, really?
Stealing even more from this program.
That's old.
My name is Jim. Today is Monday. It is December the 16th. And I am joined by the one and only Eddie Geik. And Eddie, good evening. It is Monday, and you know what that means.
That's right. Alan Cosell, Monday Night Football. I have 1,000 problems, and the Rangers winning is not one. I'm under the weather. I have a little bit of a head cold, so you'll have to forgive the Howard impersonation. Ever since Robert Conrad challenged Gabe Kaplan to a one-on-one race and accused ABC of cheating, has there been so much controversy surrounding the New York Rangers. And then Kaplan, around the turn, is gonna beat Robert Conrad. Who would have thought a lanky Jew would beat the well-built Robert Conrad? So hopefully, New York,
With Mike Farrell bringing up the rear from the CBS team.
That's right. Robert Conrad of Ba Black Sheep fame. And then the New York Jets actually won a football game. They found a team worse than them.
In spite of themselves.
Despite of themselves. And the New York Giants, once again, on their quest to lose every home game this year, continue. And
do you know how bad the Giants are, Eddie? Do you know how bad the Giants are?
Is this a joke?
No, this is factual.
Okay.
This is facts. The New York Rangers have won a game at Giants Stadium more recently than the New York Giants.
Did not know that.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's how long it has been since the New York Giants have won a game at home.
And other than that, I got nothing. I wish I had more Monday Night Football quips, but there's not a lot to quip about. I mean, we gotta have fun with this show.
Right.
And I told Jim right before we on, I may have a solution for the New York Rangers. I may have a way out.
A solution, including execution, which will lead to resolution. And then absolution.
I actually have, maybe it's a fantasy I came up with, but I'll get to that in a second. So where did we leave off with this? The last time, who'd we lose to the last time?
Who had we last visited on this journey to rock bottom?
This
We were
sojourn.
coming off a 2-1 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
That was our last show, was after the Blackhawks game. And the Rangers did manage to win a game after that, but that's only because the Buffalo Sabres were just horrendous. And I mean, that was not a good game at all. That was not it was nothing to write home about. And the Rangers still flirted with danger in that game, as of course Tage Thompson did score late in that game to make it interesting. With the after the Rangers had gone ahead in that game 3-1, thanks to Adam Fox finally getting on the score.
His open net goal.
His empty net goal. But then Buffalo came right back and scored. And the next thing you know, it's 3-2, and they're sweating it out.
I just realized the verbiage difference. It is an empty net goal, but I keep calling it an open net goal. Is there a difference?
Open net assumes that the goaltender left the net open, and the Rangers don't.
Oh.
The Rangers don't score on those.
Oh, yes. No. Well, Buffalo, what are they in their 25th year of rebuild? I mean, this team just continues to lose. They've lost 10 in a row. There's always somebody worse.
Who would have thought, besides everybody, that Lindy Ruff wasn't really going to work out? Lindy Ruff 2.0.
That franchise is just bad.
They're good players. They got some players. They got a couple of players on that roster I'd take on this team.
Yeah.
On our ragtag bunch.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to start off with, I want the reality checks from all you people. I see Sonia from the Underground is here. She wants us to do another fire jury. Well, not another, but another fire the GM, president, whatever, rally outside the Garden.
You mean Tanya?
Tanya, Sonia.
Who the hell is Sonia?
Maybe it's Tanya's sister.
Sonia Heine.
Sonia Heine. How many of you watched the entire game yesterday? Please raise your hand in the chat room. I will raise my hand as well.
Bitter end.
All right. I'm going to wait for the chat room to receive this question. Because I know, it's holidays are around. There's a lot of football being played. And, a lot of people gets lost in the mix. You get tired.
There's shopping. There's holiday parties.
Shopping. I'm sure you idiot box will perform at anything. Bar mitzvah. Okay, Rob Scotty watched.
Ron
Kaminsky was in attendance.
Good.
In St. Louis?
Patty Duke watched the game.
Jeff Drexler did not watch.
Did not watch.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you.
Ron Kaminsky was in St. Louis?
That's what I'm reading.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, Rob Scotty has raised his hand with his, what do they call it? An emoticon or whatever they call it.
Emoji.
I have to say that I don't know what emoji. I am of the age where I don't use emojis. I'm afraid of them. I don't know what they really mean. Even the basic Facebook emojis, is that one thing where it carries a heart, like he's holding a heart, and that means caring or something.
Right.
Useless emoji, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, getting on to that. Now, I watched that whole game. My analysis does not take a rest, win, lose, draw, whatever. They don't draw anymore, but And I thought, except for a couple different moments in that game, the Rangers did not play that bad. They gave up 7 shots in the first period. They gave up 7 shots in the second period. Now, Ryan Lindgren's egregious turnover, whether Chris Kreider should have yelled, rim it, or whatever the fuck stupid Vagistat was trying to blame it on Kreider for not yelling at him. It was an egregious giveaway and a goal. Okay? The second goal was a 2-1. I think it was a 2-on-1. I think Zach Jones got caught pinching. And really, I thought Quick should have had it. I don't know if it was the second or third goal. It's where Schneider was like up and down and trying to play goalie. And it was like, and the Rangers in the third period really came on. I thought they established the forecheck. Now, I know this is the Blues, okay? So the barometer is not high, but I wanted to see some positives. I thought I saw some positives. Although, and they did dominate when they pulled the goalie. The Rangers were all over them. Too bad Laviolette didn't continue the benching of Mika once they pulled the goalie, because he was useless sitting there with the Novechkin shot and just gumming up that power, that one-man advantage. But what I saw, guys, and this is what I'm just going to say it first because I want Jim's absolute. Listen, if you want to lace into me on this thought, call me delusional. I don't. It's you get a hall pass. You could just say, "Listen, you fucking idiot." What I saw from the Rangers is a couple things. I like the line of, was it Lafreniere, Hedel, and Cooley? Was that the first line?
Yes.
Okay. I like that line. I thought Lafreniere had a good game. Will Cooley is now second on the team in goals. He's got 11. Okay, he's having a really good year. Other than Zach Jones pinching at inopportune moments, he's been good. He's got to learn what we're looking for right now. Zach, if you're out there listening, Zach, we just need you to be steady. We don't need you to be Bobby Orr out there trying to, pay. We can't afford the odd man rushes at this point. So, God bless you.
Thank you.
I feel that the Rangers can, if we all know the guys that they're paying, the guys we've seen year after year, they're finito. Mika's horrible. He's terrible. He deserved that benching in the third period. I know Patty Duke's betrothed Chris Kreider there. We love Chris. We love it's just not happening for him right now. He got pushed to the fourth line. I feel like these younger guys, if they could somehow generate some kind of cohesiveness in their play and kind of grow into a small pocket of leadership. I'm talking Cooley. I'm talking Zach Jones to a degree. I'm trying to think of the other guys. Berard. Another guy. He got a nice goal. He's just sniped a nice shot. Again, if they could get like the pride going to show these veterans how to play hard. And with a little, they played without Panarin last night. They didn't get any power plays during the whole game. And Lord, there was a couple penalties that should have been called. There was a trip on Trocheck that I thought was egregious and wasn't called. But when you stink, you don't get the calls, and the Rangers really haven't drawn many penalties. But I felt like, okay, if we can get these young guys, and I'm going with, and I know you might laugh at me, the Connor Mackeys, he got into a good fight against the Kings, against Helenas. That maybe they could lead by example and kind of stop this. Now, listen, they're not going to beat anybody good, but to maybe salvage the season with this, they have 52 games left, that somehow they can galvanize this team. That's my hope. Again, I might be delusional, because they still aren't good. But maybe if they could string a couple wins together, maybe they can revitalize this team. Because it's just not. They've got the players to be a playoff team, but they don't. I thought they had a little bit more moxie.
Playoffs?
I thought they had a little bit more competitiveness in this game. Again, they're playing a team that's one game over 500 like they are, or whatever they are now. So I don't know how you feel about this. Maybe I'm just wishing upon a star here. Give it to me.
I would first of all, I would never lace into you. I would never call you an idiot. I will just respectfully disagree with you. I think you have sadly, I think you have lowered your expectations. And I think you are now just looking for, well, they didn't play that badly. I think that's where you're at. I think this month, a month and a half of just boring, lifeless, dead hockey has lowered your expectations. This rotten to the core, I use that in quotations, team has lowered your expectations. I did not think Eddie's in the bargaining phase. I did not think they played all that well last night.
You don't think that was a good third period? I thought that was a good third period.
I thought it was a good 5 minutes of a third period. Unfortunately, it's the pesky 15 other minutes that always seem to break. How many times in the last 5-7 years have we seen this team play 55 minutes of lifeless hockey only to make a mad dash in the last 5 minutes and close a 3-0 game to just lose 3-2? How many times have we said on this show?
I disagree with you.
How many times have we said on this show, why does this team always need a kick in the pants? Always.
I think in the last 5 years, the Rangers, since the rebuild, the Rangers are a tough team to play against in the third period. How many times they've had streaks where they went with the lead in the third period? They win. Now, I know in the old days, they used to what I used to call the tease goal. They tease you into thinking they're going to come back, and then they fall short. You lose. Good night. Get out of here, you bump.
Right.
But listen, maybe I am in the bargaining phase. I don't know.
I think you're bargaining a little bit. I think John brings his
spot on.
I think he's got you pegged here a little bit. I think you're lowering expectations.
I seriously thought they should have won that game. There were three. Maybe I am, because it's the fucking Blues. But this,
I feel like it's been at least a month since I have watched them play and felt like they had control of a game. Brian Boyle said that. He said that too in the last New York Post podcast. He's like, he says most of the time you could watch 5 minutes of a Ranger game and you can see they're in control. He's like, even if it's tied or even if they're behind a goal, he's like, you could see when they're in control of a game. He's like, they're not controlling anything right now.
I don't know. It just seemed to me there were certain moments and there's certain breakdowns that led to the Blues goal. And, everybody's saying, oh, I knew Buchnevich was going to score against us. All our old players. No. You know why he scored against us? Because he's a first-line player. That's why he scored. And the dude, he was an ex-Ranger. He's a good player. And, of course, Rob Thomas scored. And
Jordan Kyrou.
Jordan Kyrou is a Ranger killer extraordinaire. So maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like you said. But you got to admit, the most fire out of that game that I saw were from, I thought Lafreniere had a good game. I thought that Will Cooley had a good game. I thought the first line was good. You're playing with a lot of guys that aren't. I mean, you Chad Ruedels and they're playing with half the Wolfpack's roster from last year. No Panarin.
If I were Will Cooley, I would go pounding into the coach's office, beating down the door with my shoe like Khrushchev. For as long as this coach is here, because who knows? I think his days are numbered. I didn't think he was going to be on the bench last night in St. Louis after what happened against the Kings on Sunday. I thought that was it. I really did. Deservedly or not. And we'll talk a little bit about it because he's got to take some heat for last night a little bit and maybe some other stuff. But anyway, he should just go in there and say, you know what, coach? Put me on the first line. I'm gonna lead this team. Nobody else wants to step up and lead this team.
It's like a movie.
Fuck it. I'll do it. Fuck it. I mean, it's the only guy we can rely on. Oh, good. Thank God Cooley's on the ice. Maybe we'll get a goal. Thank God Will Cooley's on the ice.
I
Sunday.
know.
And we'll talk about Sunday's game, as we go along through the evening here. Your Ranger fan therapy. I'm sorry, Saturday's game against the Kings. They're losing 5-0, right? Now, Saturday was the day I played Santa for the borough. Okay. So 11-1, I'm Santa at lunch. All these kids come to Borough Hall. We do pictures. They have lunch. They make crafts. They do little things. It's a whole thing for 2 hours. From 1 to 3, there's a break. And then at 3 o'clock, we go out on the fire truck. We go to all these kids' houses. We deliver presents, right? Mm-hmm. So we got a 2-hour gap. So we were hungry. We run over. We go to our local watering hole. We grab a slice of pizza, have a beer. Got the game. We're watching the game on my phone, right? Go back to the firehouse. I'm getting changed back into the Santa costume. I got my iPad hooked up to my phone. They're losing 5-0. And I'm standing there watching the game in a Santa costume, waiting for the fire truck to leave. And I'm standing there and I'm watching this lifeless, dead hockey. And I'm going, why am I doing this to myself? What am I doing? I'm watching this awful, terrible, disgusting, and I'm still watching. And yes, I did watch the entire game yesterday. Turned off a great football game so I could watch that dreck. The Buffalo game. The Bills Lions game. Turn that off. Put the Ranger game on the TV, on the big TV, on the old 3000 there. On the Hisense 3000. I just going by game analysis, and I didn't think it. Again, it winds up with the big L, so it's all in the same shit pile the rest of these losses are on. But again, they fucking couldn't beat a goalie named Hofer for the second time. So that's it. And going to what you're talking about with Laviolette, he's gonna go. He's got to go?
No,
Is that what you
he's
said?
gonna go. He's
He's
gonna
gonna
go.
go.
Just like you said on the threads, justly or unjustly, he's got to go. Drury's not going to fire himself. Dolan's not going to come down from the heavens and fire Drury.
You don't think the old man's coming down from the Yukon to make the decision for Dolan? The consultant or whatever bullshit title he holds?
They're gonna whoever they get cannot transform these veterans. They don't have a time machine. I feel like they made their runs and they're done. They're done. They're just done. They're mentally done. They're physically, some of them have just fallen off. And they just don't want to do the little things that it takes to win a hockey game. They don't want to they don't want to do the back pressure when the other team's racing up the ice. They want to fucking just, skate like ice capades on the back check.
They want to skill their way out of everything.
And when you don't get power plays, how are you going to fucking skill? They don't. Brian Lindgren, thank you for your service. His game has fallen off. Jacob Trouba's gone. Keandre Miller's hurt. All the blame game on the defense is gone now, and it's still shit. I don't know what you're gonna do. They're leaderless. They're leaderless.
Rudderless.
What can you do? What could a new coach do? Play young guys? Well, that's already happening.
When Chris Drury sent out the memo, the Rangers were 12-6-1. That was November 25th. The Rangers have won 3 games since then. I believe they are 3-8 since then. 3-8.
Okay.
Sabotage. I'll say it again. Sabotage. He has sabotaged this team. This is the ultimate revenge.
Well, whether he did it intentionally or non-intentionally, this is what he's done. He's if I don't know, can you guys give me like a name of an invested owner in hockey? Like a guy who's hands-on. I don't know if there's so many in hockey, but maybe like Steve Cohen, maybe, like a guy he's in the, with the Mets, where a guy is like, his finger is on the pulse of the team. Like Dolan doesn't give a shit about the Rangers. He cares about the Knicks.
What about the guy that owns the Knights?
Oh, that guy?
Bill Foley.
Okay. Bill Foley. Okay. If I were Bill Foley, and if you had an invested owner, who the culprit of this is. It's Chris Drury. He is at the center of all of it. And it's all trickled down, not economics, it's trickled down bullshit from there. That in combination with a lot of, there's 4 players at least on this team. There's completely, their players falling off a cliff. You just cited the record, Jim. You're the one. That memo sabotaged the entire team. And we know the Rangers aren't the most mentally strong guys. I mean, I will say that the Rangers they've won a lot of 6-7 game series, with this core, this rotten core, whatever we're calling it now. They've showed a lot of intestinal fortitude in that, but when it came to the big time, You're supposed to shine. They fell short. I think they just have fallen short too many times. They don't want to put the effort in the regular season. But there's 52 games to get this back on playoff track. I'm not talking about winning a round, winning 2 rounds. I'm just talking about getting the Eastern Conference is not that good. They could, but I'm trying to figure out, again, this is where what did they say I was rationalizing?
Bargaining.
I'm bargaining.
You're bargaining.
I'm looking for it to come from within, and I'm trying to speculate on what players could bring this together. And because if the coaches can't do it, it's useless. You fire the coach, the next guy's going to come in and, well, he's going to make the guys work. They're not there to impress the coach. They asked for this coach. Peter Laviolette was the one that they wanted. Oh, the other guy doesn't practice us hard enough. We don't do practice. We don't do drills. We don't do. So they get a guy to teach him to do the right things and how to play, and now they don't want to play for him. So that's on them. But the way the business works is Laviolette's going to get fired. People say, oh, well, second year he always stinks and, the whatever. It's not his fault. I mean, I wish his press conferences would be a little bit more angrier. I'm sick. Jim, you know this from following sports. Once you start getting pissed off at the coach for his answers at the press conference during,
right.
Then it's close. It's close to like, if I got we got some good looks. I liked our third period. You fucking lost to the Blues. Okay? And Cam Fowler and Jim Montgomery and every fucking other superstar on fucking St. Louis, according to those two idiots in the fucking booth who just want to go on and on and on about the other team. I could give a fuck about Cam Fowler playing his 799th game as a professional. The only thing I'm reminded by that is that we drafted Dylan McIlrath in that draft.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. There's so much hockey left to play. Is it? So I guess I'm bargaining. I'm saying, you know what? Something could happen. But you're saying nothing is going to happen.
Rough schedule coming up. A lot of playoff teams in front of them. And on the schedule, I mean. It's a tough sked. Even if I'm starting to, I always like to, I've been doing this for as long as we've been doing the show. And when I hear the coaches talk and I hear the players talk, more so when things are going bad, of course, I'm always reading between the lines. I'm always trying to nitpick what a player or a coach is saying, how they're saying it, body language, things like that. And, we make a lot of that. This coach was what the players asked for. And I'm starting to wonder how many of these players really asked for this coach. I'm sure some of them did, but I wonder how many of them really asked for this coach. And I go back to the night that Jacob Trouba threw the helmet. And I go back to his press conference after that game. And if anybody remembers it, he was very, very measured in his thoughts. And he said, there's a lot of things. I'm going to watch what I say. And he was very careful about what he said. But he was obviously upset. I think it's obvious he was upset with certain players. So now I'm starting to wonder, because now he's gone. He's gone. We're left with these players who all of a sudden, this coach that we were told everybody asked for, now they won't play for. So who was really asking? That's what I'm wondering. Because I'm really starting to wonder, because how many coaches are we going to let these guys burn through? I don't think Scotty Bowman's probably 93 years old at this point. I don't think he's coming to the rescue. No. Mike Keenan, I don't think Mike Keenan's walking through the door. So who are you going to get? I'll tell you, you know who I think is going to be the next? I think it's going to be Michael Pekka.
You think they're going to promote from within?
Yes. I think it's going to be Michael Pekka. It's just my guess.
They keep showing him all the time.
He's always writing on his board. Maybe he's writing his qualifications down. Here's what I do differently.
What? Yeah. What's the difference?
I don't know if anything changes. I don't know if anything changes.
Joel Quenneville, to me, you have to understand, first of all, as Matt Morello mentioned, he's got like the Isaiah Thomas type of, the scandal with the, what was it, Kirby Doc? I think that was the name.
No, Kyle Beach.
Kyle Beach. In this liberal atmosphere at Madison Square Garden, they are not bringing in a controversial figure like Joel Quenneville. I mean, am I going to be 100% and say no? Desperate time. You have to be pretty desperate to get Joel Quenneville right now.
I just don't see it. I don't see, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? I've seen several people say Quenneville will get them to play. What are you basing that on? Laviolette got them to play last year, and then they stopped.
See, Margaret is agreeing with me. Margaret is I've got one person on my side.
That's fine. Anybody, if you want to keep the glass half full.
No, I'm not saying glass full. I'm lighting a candle.
Okay.
At church,
light the candle.
I'm lighting a candle for the Rangers. That's what I'm doing.
There's 52 games left.
If they can get these young players, and then at the deadline, since they have all this, the cap room. I keep seeing them shed money for cap and bad decisions, and they get worse. All these cap casualties, the team is bad. You can't blame Trouba anymore. You hang Keandre Miller out to dry, although he stinks. It's what do they call this? This is like it's a systematic failure. Now, somebody mentioned in the chat room, and maybe you could update me on this. Alexei Lafreniere was crying, or is this
I don't know. I watched the video. I didn't think he was crying.
There's no crying in hockey.
I think he was downtrodden. I think he was upset. I don't know if he was crying. So, all right, let me backtrack for a second here.
Okay.
I'm going to try and I'm going to see if I can let you talk me into this, getting to the playoffs thing. Because now their chances, by the way, which were like, I don't know, some ridiculous 89% like a month ago, are now down to 33%. Their chances of making the playoffs, depending on how much you buy into those numbers. So last year, it took 91 points to get into the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. So the Rangers would need 60 points in their last 52 games, which is 30. What is that? 60 points. That's 30 out of that's 3 out of every 5. You got to play like 600 hockey the rest of the season. Not impossible.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. You got the best goalie in the league. arguably. Okay. We have the trading deadline coming up. Although the Rangers don't have a lot to give away, we have the UFAs that could be coming in. I don't know who exactly is going to change this team around. I don't know if there's a spark plug. They need a guy in the locker room. Now, Will Cooley is playing like that guy, but he just hasn't been around long enough. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of hockey to be played. Now, they're going to win 3 out of 5. Well, that's win 3, lose 2. I don't think that's that bad by my mathematics. Right now, it looks really bad because they can't beat anybody. Sam Bennett's having a good year. They need something. Every team, I can't even say it. I agree with you. They are really between a rock and a hard place.
This is starting to feel a lot like the 92-93 season. A team that was, just more was expected of them. They'd had what did they do in 91-92? They made it to the second round when they lost to Pittsburgh in 6 games. Then in 92-93, they were bad.
Bad.
Had a great hockey coach, Roger Nielsen. Conflict with the player, with the head, with the main guy, with the Aaron Rodgers of that team. And I'm only saying that because he was the decision maker. He was in the room, as they say. And that 92-93 team failed miserably. Got the coach fired. We wound up with Ron Smith, who went 15-22.
Well, his famous quote, "We'll have it straightened out by tax time." And sorry, it was all done by tax time. Yeah, that was not a good.
This year is feeling a little similar to that, where you just
see. I'm hearing
kind of you kept waiting for him to get going, and
there's a couple of us bargaining out here.
Well,
St. Louis had the worst record in the January, and they won the cup a few years ago.
That's what we do. We're addicts. That's what we do. We're addicted. We're in a toxic relationship with this team, but it's like you call it, but we're like battered spouses. They feel really bad when they do this to us. They don't mean it.
I know.
They don't mean it.
Ryan O'Reilly is a guy who's going to be available. I mean, he's he's a gritty leadership type of guy. I mean, I'm not saying I'm with you guys. I mean, this team has no leaders. And the coach, what are you going to do? This coach, he benched Mika in the third period. He's got to bench Mika every game. I don't know. What can he do? His hands are tied. He's got this mess. The same guys he had last year predominantly.
Right.
And they won't play. They won't play the right way. Why? And I think maybe it goes back to what you said, that maybe not everybody is happy with Laviolette. Maybe he is not the guy they wanted. I have no answers.
I don't know. All I know is they don't do one thing well.
Oh, they do. They kill penalties. That's the best time they look. Offensively and defensively. They're one of the best penalty killing units in the league, which usually is like, that makes no sense. They don't hustle. Why are they killing penalties at such a high rate? You know what I'm saying? I mean, first of all, they should bring up Rempe. Why is Rempe in the minors? We were all concerned about, they're going to call penalties against him. This is all shit now. Bring him up. Get some life in that garden. Because if you're waiting for a goal at Madison Square Garden, you could be waiting for 3 periods if you're waiting for a goal by the Rangers.
It's some life on the bench.
Yeah, get something going. I don't have to see Edstrom cleaning the fucking the glass because he's so tall. I don't know what he does. Right now, I'm everybody is under the gun. Johnny Brodzinski and all we got half of the Wolfpack playing. Bring up the guy that I want. Keep Mancini in the lineup. Keep Rempe in the lineup, and let it fly. I mean,
Lonnie's made his decision. Rempe is the eval's in. Rempe is a horrible NHL player.
wow, Lonnie Fass, horrible. No, that is. I've got to tell you, what has he played? 15 games in this league, and it's already in. You want to see horrible?
Matt Rempe, 21 career games, 6 minutes of ice time average. Horrible.
It's pretty high. You really think low of the guy for a guy who plays 5 minutes.
Right.
Well, listen, I don't blame the frustration could come from everywhere right now because this is when it's at an all-time low. The morale is at a low-time low. Come on. The league doesn't want the Rangers to play, John.
Right. They want the Americans back.
They want the New York Americans back in the league.
Yeah. Good point, Puck Rock. I don't know if Rempe can come up and be a minus 15. I'm not one of the, I'm one of these. I'm always of the opinion, what's the worst that could happen? They're going to lose with Matt Rempe in the lineup? Well, we've done that. They're not going to score? We've done that. They're going to take some bad penalties? So what? It all starts with being aggressive and physical. Those are things you can control. Being aggressive, being physical. Rempe brings those things to the game. He brings those things to the ice. Put them on the ice. If they lose, so what? They've been losing. Been losing for a month and a half. To the Blackhawks, to the Blues. All of a sudden, we can't beat the St. Louis Blues. Embarrassed by the Devils. Embarrassed by the Kings. I'd rather get embarrassed with Matt Rempe on the ice.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Rempe, too, Jim. He's not gliding out there. He's trying. I mean, that's all he does. Again, is he the be-all, end-all of them winning or whatever? No.
No. Nobody is saying that. Nobody. But if he gives you a jolt, does anybody remember? I know you remember. Does anybody remember when AV was the coach? And they went through. They were stagnant, and there was a lull to them. I don't remember exactly when it was, and I really don't feel like going to look it up to figure it out. But there was a time where Tanner Glass, who hadn't been playing, and he put him in the lineup just to get a jolt, just to get a little physicality. And I didn't agree with it at the time because I wasn't a Tanner Glass fan, and I didn't really comprehend what he could bring to the lineup. But yeah, he brought energy, and they did win a few games after they put him in the lineup. Again, like Eddie said, this is not the cure. But what's the alternative? Just keep losing? Just keep playing lifeless hockey? No, they do one thing. I'll give Eddie. They kill penalties.
They kill penalties. That's a bit.
They kill penalties well. Terrific.
Face-off.
They don't forecheck.
No, terrible.
They don't play hard. They don't control shifts. They spend too much time in their own zone. They're not stopping the puck. The defense is hanging the goalies out to dry. Igor, 5 goals. Quick, 5 goals. This one, 5 goals. Doug Sotart gave up 5 goals. What are we going to do? Bring up Dylan Garand? He's got 2 shutouts in a row down in Hartford. Is he the savior? Is that the answer?
No, I don't want to ruin him.
You don't want to ruin him.
Put him in front of those idiots.
Tanner had the mumps. Tanner Glass. Immortalized in the Mumps song, by the way.
They need a psychiatrist. That's what they need. These guys, I don't know how you're a professional and you put up these fucking efforts. How do you go from last year beating these teams like, Remember last year we complained when they lost to the fucking Blue Jackets twice in 1 year?
Right.
We were losing our minds. Absolutely apoplectic. How could you lose to the Colts? Fast forward to this year. They've lost to the Blues. They can only beat Buffalo. They haven't beaten a decent team all year. Not even close. They got waxed by the Devils in a humiliating fashion. How does it get this bad? I don't know. There's something going on in the inner workings of that organization that's got these guys all screwed up. I mean, Mika is bad. I mean, he's just bad. And he don't look like he wants to snap out of it. He still keeps going to that face-off dot with that Novechkin one-timer. He's either shooting it off the fucking plexiglass, he's either breaking his stick, it's sailing wide, it doesn't work, it will never work again. Not even sure it worked in the first place. Mix it up. Stop. I haven't seen so many odd man rushes. And he score on every one. If it's a player in the goalie, like the opposing player in the goalie, I feel more confident because our goalies are good. They'll stop it. But if it's a 2-on-1, it's in the back of the net. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody's coming back on defense. There's no back pressure. Everybody's just sitting and watching. What do I do? What do I do, George? That's fucking ridiculous. This isn't all. I didn't know how you could fire everyone. I don't see any way out of this unless, again, I'm still thinking somehow organically these younger guys can step up and show these guys. How much can you? Capo Caco was a healthy scratch. What'd you think of that?
I don't know.
Look at that face. He was like, oh.
I don't know. There were some lineup changes last night. You know, he went with what was it? Cooley and Hedel and Lafreniere. That was the first line last night, right? We talked about it.
Yeah.
Second line was I lose track. Trocheck and Berard. I think on the second line with who else was on that line last night?
I can get that up for you in a second. Let me see. We had Brodzinski, Trocheck, and Riley Smith.
Oh, Riley Smith, yeah.
We had Brett Berard, Mika, and Jimmy Vesey. And Kreider with Sam Carrick and the plexiglass cleaner, Adam Edstrom.
Okay. I get limiting Kreider's ice time. He's not playing well. He's in one of these funks. But putting him on the fourth line with Sam Carrick, you might as well just have scratched him for the night. I mean, come on. The guy, he's a goal scorer. He's not going to what's he going to do?
He doesn't hit. He doesn't block shots. He's not a mucker. I mean, he gets in front of the net. I mean,
what I didn't get last night, and what a lot of fans didn't seem to get last night with, I think it was around about 2:30 left in the third period, Laviolette pulls the goalie, goes to 6-on-5, 5 forwards, 1 defenseman, keeps them on the ice, There's a stoppage. He calls timeout, leaves all 6 on the ice. No changes. Cooley and Berard, the only guys who scored goals last night, never sniffed the ice. Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Kreider, rinse, repeat. Adam Fox.
Exactly.
How do you not put Will Cooley out there? How does Will Cooley not get on the ice in that 2.5 minutes? I don't get it. That I don't get.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you. And I also, why are you benching a guy in the third period? Apparently, you want to come back in the game. If you think Z-Bad is just a guy that, he can provide you offense, in a 3-2 game, wouldn't you play him in the third period? But they benched him. So basically, they're saying, we're going to try to teach you a lesson. Not playing the way I want you to play, whatever. But then as soon as they pull the goalie, Z-Bad's out there.
There he is.
There he is in all his glory.
Got to have him.
Instead of rewarding the guy who got a goal and is playing his ass off, it Will Cooley. So what's going on here?
What was he seeing from that unit, those 6 guys? What had he seen from them in the first 57 minutes of the game that warranted them taking a 2.5-minute shift? Because of course, none of the beat writers asked him about it.
Of course. And you know what? The thing is, he was going on last year. He's thinking of that unit from last year and how great it was. But guess what? They're not so good now.
All right.
They're this is the same people we're working with. And then you even got to think about it. Kreider's on the 4th line. But, as soon as you pull the goal, now power play, he is a power play specialist. So maybe I could see that with the extra man you put him out there. There's no accountability. I agree with you, Lonnie. But, I don't know who do I got to hold accountable. The players. How can you go out there night after night and get embarrassed? Aren't you sick of losing? I know, we like to label them fat cats, and maybe that's it. Stop having the fucking kids. I can tell you that much. I mean, how many times they should have a clause when you sign with the Rangers, a no procreation clause, an NPC. They got the no movement, because these kids are ruining them. They can't focus on hockey.
They're ruining them like the Mumford Sons. The Mumford Sons ruined Rick Nash.
Yes.
Irish hillbilly music.
Fucking hillbilly bullshit. No band should have somebody playing a washboard. I can tell you that right there.
There's no washboard in Idiot Box. Idiot Box does not have a guy with a washboard. A washboard.
John Reed says
mandatory vasectomies. I like that.
Yeah, where's the dad trip? I bet you these fathers are even embarrassed to be seen with these kids. Oh God, I don't know. I don't have the answers, man. I don't know. And they're stuck in these bad contracts. They can't. There's no wiggle room. Do we have to see these guys deteriorate? Can't the Rangers just start trading guys and then, I don't know, go to court over us? I don't know.
Duke it out in court?
Yeah. Or just release guys and say, well, come on. This doesn't count against the cap. I don't know.
Igor, by the way, 8 years, full no move.
How are they going to get around that? Are they going to have to find some way? He's got to want out.
Do you realize if we stay on the air, we'll be on the air 23 years by the time Igor's done with this contract?
I don't know. We got to do something. Maybe if we just boo him out of town, he'll want to leave. Not Igor, but Mika I'm worried about. It's ridiculous. I like Lonnie's coming in like a ball of fire. It is ridiculous, but what's the alternative? Again, unless you want Hofer in net, I don't know what the alternative is.
Not with that defense.
He can't. Him or Quick can't save this defense. I don't know if I'm not ready to tank. What do you think about this, Jim?
What about what?
Tanking with 52 games left.
It might happen organically. I'm not an actor. Like with the Giants, it's they're not tanking. They're just bad.
Bad.
I'll worry about the tanking in February. Why not? Emil Francis said you build from the goaltender out.
How many cups did he win?
They did everything but win.
Peter Hurley said, "Put salt, Peter." I haven't salt Peter. I haven't seen that that phrase used in quite a while. Oh, I'm not. What pants? I was gonna do the sweat. I was gonna do the whole bit. I was gonna come out here in a robe and the whole thing. Unfortunately, I thought the Rangers had an effort, but Jim disagrees. And maybe again, I'm bargaining. I'm just not seeing things what they are. But I mean, and it's so low that I think St. Louis with their backup goalie we couldn't even beat. And I don't know. I felt like with Panarin, they probably would have won that game, but what do I know? I don't know. I know, Pete. Hey, listen, I'm getting that too. Of course, I knew the reference.
Nashville tomorrow night.
Oh, that's a battle of the baddies.
God bless them if they don't beat Nashville tomorrow night.
Nashville is bad. But the question is, the Rangers better.
Nashville 8-17-6 and 1-6-3 in their last 10. They could find themselves in the basement of rock bottom if they don't beat Nashville.
Oh, that's going to be a classic. Can't wait to see the ratings on that one. Where is that, in Nashville or at home?
Nashville. They're on the road.
Oh, they're much better on the road.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe. What a great man. Now everybody's a fucking great man. What a great man, that Hitler. What a great guy. Every fucking guy, a story and fucking just a whole seminar on how great everybody is. Cam Fowler's fit in well, Joe. He has fit in well, Joe. They quiet him fucking 2 games ago.
Boy, am I glad the Rangers didn't draft him.
Yeah.
Dodge the bullet.
These idiots don't even understand when they're lauding Cam Fowler. It's chafing us because we drafted Dylan McIlrath in that draft. Howie's on the lam. Howie Sussman.
Next stop, Hawaii for him. He's running out of country.
Yeah, by the way, you people that are still friends with that guy, that guy's an accused pedophile. Stop being friends with that dude.
He got hacked.
Yeah, he got hacked.
5 times?
5 times.
Guy's had 97 Twitter handles.
The guy had his last name has sus in it. So Well, I think it's a they fractured the room. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answers, guys. I'm just trying to figure out. We got so much hockey to play. Are we just gonna be fucking taking it up the tookus for the rest of the fucking season? Is this it? Ego gets the big payday, and
I feel like I should have an 8-ball. Are we just gonna keep taking it up the tookus? The answer is yes.
Wasn't he banned from Six Flags? You people are bad. Of course his wife defended him. She's not clueless fucking. Anyway, we're getting off the subject here. Camp Foul. Oh, they're lauding. Why don't they just laud Dave Schultz for being the shit out of Dale Rolfe? Dave Schultz, a good man. He was a good man. Oh, Bob Plager, what a jokester. You hear that shit last night? Oh, he could tell a story, Bob Plager. Oh. Shut up, asshole. The Rangers are losing.
Funniest man that ever lived.
Yes. Next to Gerard Galante will be at the Chuckle Hut.
Right.
I don't know. Uh-oh. Danielle wants to give a talking to. What are you going to tell? You're not going to tell nobody nothing. Half these guys can't even speak the language. You need an interpreter with Panarin, the feckless Finn. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and now who are you gonna? Drury is the fucking culprit. But how can you remove him? He would seem like, who are you going to replace him with? I don't even know. Are there any other names that people are throwing around for coach and GM and all this stuff? Is anybody available?
It'll be Michael Pekka.
Well, I take Michael Pekka over, although he's got that Islander stink on him. I'd rather have him than that Dan Muse. That guy belongs in a fucking Great Adventure ad. That dancing guy with the class.
If they're gonna make a change in season, assuming they wouldn't go to Joel Quenneville.
It's not happening. That is not happening. That is fantasy.
They're not promoting the guy from Hartford. He just got hired down there. Polutny, whatever his name is. So who are you getting? You're going to promote for then. You get you give it to the third base coach.
Yeah, it was a long time ago when Lavi coached the Islanders. He still got that stink on him. Well, he's going to be fired. You can't keep losing like this.
Somebody's going to pay the price.
Again, we started off, whether he deserves it or not, I guess your record says who you are. If he can't get through these fucking dump coughs and he can't adjust the lineup to put players in there who are going to play. What?
No, he can't get through to this island of misfit toys anymore.
Right. Exactly, Jim.
That's what they are.
Perfectly.
They're the misfit toys.
The Rangers are the misfit toys. You nailed it.
Nobody wants a Charlie in the box.
Bunch of fucking misfits. Get ready on Steve Zippe will have that on the news day. Oh, right, he's long gone. Whatever happened to that guy?
He retired. Moved on.
Larry Brooks will have the Rangers misfit toys back of the post.
We're on the island of misfit toys.
I mean, you got one guy who is Hermie. Good one, Jeff.
Why am I such a misfit? I'm not just a nitwit. You can't fire me. I quit.
There you go.
Teams, I don't fit in. The Island of Misfit Toys.
Wow. Danielle, that's true. I don't know how much adjustments you could make, but yes, just sit the fucking creeps. The guys who are making money. Just do it. I mean, what is he going to do? Lose his job for it? I mean, he's going to lose his job no matter what. I don't know. I don't have this. They do. They are playing like a bunch of misfits. There they are. There's Mika. There's Keandre. Oh, what else you could throw in that?
The train with the square wheels. That's lingering. That's lingering at this point.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mike Silvers with a Cars reference there. Cars line. Yeah, maybe we get Sean McCaff on the job for a really bad Photoshop there.
That's what we pay Joe for.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. I don't know. So nobody. When I heard Kako was scratched, I'm like, what's the difference? That's an impactful score. It was sending a message to Capo Kako and his 3 goals. Like,
Right.
How about Kreider isn't playing? He's a healthy scrub. The fan base would have went berserk. That's why these guys can't. I love Chris Kreider. Don't get me wrong. But if he comes in a trade to who's that?
That's Charlie in a box. Nobody wants a Charlie in a box. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break up your train of thought.
No, I ain't gonna get
I'm trying to entertain here.
You gotta laugh at this shit. I don't know. That's right. Jonathan Riggs with a throwback comment to the hiring of Brian Trottier, who wrote a handwritten resume to one Glenn Sather and impressed him so much that he got the Ranger coaching job and was fired after 40 games or so. I think that might be Drury. You're right, Chef. What an amateur hour here. I don't know what bizarre world I'm living in when I'm watching hockey now. We're worried that they're gonna lose to Nashville. Last year would have been an aberration if they lost to Nashville. Now it's like,
and they did lose to Nashville last year, by the way.
They got no Roman Yossi over there. I don't know. Yeah. Let's talk about see what Jonathan Riggs brought up. How does Michael Del Zotto make the alumni team?
Because it's the alumni team.
And this guy, what he played 4 years with the Rangers?
Yeah, something like that.
Played for 31 of he's on every team's alumni team. He played on like 14 teams. Does Kotze not have the wheels anymore to play these alumni games? They got guys that have been out of the league 2 years. Derek Brassard's playing.
Yeah, Derek Brassard. Yep.
Those aren't boos, Sam. I don't know.
Oh, it looks like they sold out the VIP meet and greets for the the alumni game.
Fucking buy anything. I'd rather have Derek Brassard on his team now. See what he's going to do. Hank is playing. All right. And I'll tell you, you guys.
I thought he couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, what happened to his heart? Has he got a new heart like the fucking Tin Man?
What did he get? One of those Jarvik hearts?
Yeah.
They still do that? The artificial, was it the
Jarvik heart?
Do they still do
Jarvik?
that? The artificial hearts?
I don't know. Come on. I think they do.
Oh, I'm sure it's fun. You know, they trot out, you know, some of the greats and some of the not so greats.
Well, we did get Brassard. It was a good deal. And Brassard, Zuccarello, and Benoit. What was that guy's name? Benoit
Pouliot.
Pouliot. It's a good line. Oh. I don't like any 30-year-olds. That's why the Rangers are going south. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck going on. Nigel Dawes, you guys are throwing some names out. Well,
he played in the alumni game last year.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Danielle said that. Yeah. What's going on with these injuries? Like Keandre Miller, is this a real injury?
I think so. Yeah, he left the
or
game.
Just like we don't want to see you on the ice.
I believe this is a bona fide injury. 3 or 4 games he's out.
Okay, and then Panarin didn't play. Is that a bona fide injury? Somebody said he got hurt his leg doing the fucking Rocket kick. I don't know whether to believe this.
That was an upper body injury, so unless he kicked himself in the face.
Yeah, let's get another fucking guy who's having problems with fucking drugs and alcohol in here. Worked great for Kevin Stevens.
Now, how do you know he's having problems with drugs?
He took a leave of absence.
Well, maybe that was for something else. Could have been for erectile dysfunction.
Oh, all right. I don't know. Maybe.
Which is just what you want, a guy who's low on testosterone.
He fit in with the rest of these fucking mooks who can't forecheck. Be a man.
Is Derek Powell playing in the
oh God, it was the worst.
Boom boom pow.
Boom boom pow.
Daryl, what was his? Was it Daryl? What was his first name?
Darren or Daryl?
Daryl Powell. It was Daryl, wasn't it?
I think it was with a D.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Did he
what
not?
About Ryan Chloe?
Oh, I hated that guy. But I think Powell was a Tortorella guy. I don't think he got a goal his whole tenure as a Ranger.
What's up, JJ? Watching us on the Twitch there?
He's on the Twitch, baby.
He actually follows the show on Twitch. Like 1 or 2 people that follow the show on Twitch. But that's all right. We love you.
There's no way Keandre Miller could get concussed. Because everybody knows if you ever hit your head against a black man, you're never going to win that battle. They got hard heads. It's happened to me. Not that it has anything to do with anything. What the hell am I talking about? I'm losing my. John Mitchell is playing. There's a name for the pass. So what are we going to do? So what is it over?
What's your solution?
My solution. This is my solution, Jim. These young guys gotta rise the tide to lift all Ranger boats. They've got to come to play. The Will Coolies, Matt Rempe, back up, giving the fans some excitement. 5 minutes of Rempe hockey. That place will be buzzing every game. Fear in the opponents. Who wants to, with that guy coming down, who wants to retrieve the puck in their own defensive zone? 0. Now, can Matt Rempe fight? That remains to be seen. I mean, other than beating Matt Martin and maybe another guy, he's all gangly.
You know what, though? Jen made a great point. The guy that's at least willing to fight is more important than actually winning the fight.
Yeah, but then it can be a momentum changer, though, if you lose a fight. Especially since Rempe's a high-profile guy. You beat the giant. It could make, propel David or Goliath. Davy. It could propel Davy up. But yes, again, I'd rather see him in the lineup than the glass washer. Those guys, like the glass washer, is good if the team is good and they're kind of giving him his minutes and this and that. But right now, we need a game changer, a possible game changer, a period changer, a shift changer. That's all I'm looking for.
Right.
And I don't see how could it be, like Jim said, how could it be any worse? Bring him up. Play Mancini. It's still not going to change the culture of that forward. The forwards do not hustle. They're not in on a forecheck. They make dumb decisions that, especially, what was it, the Kings game? No, it was the game where, is this the Kings that play that tight defense now? Yeah, it's the Kings. Kings were just lining guys up at the blue line. And what do the Rangers do? They won't dump and chase. They're still trying to force it through over the blue line. They're still with the east-west passing. And then yesterday, Riley Stiff, you see him make that back pass to nobody?
Nobody. Yep, I sure did.
Absolutely nobody. This is like Hedberg to Nielsen drop back passes that I used to see when I was a kid. Now, I'm not belittling those two guys. I thought they were really good Rangers, but they were back passing magnets. And at that time, when that back pass was not a North American thing. Anyway, and then Chucklehead and Chuckle Fuck, they'll he ran out of gas, so he did that. I'm like, how about just take a shot at the net? You're out of gas, dump it in, not back pass to nobody. Eddie's in the chat room. I agree with you 110%, Eddie. Young. Well, they got guys who are 23. Filipino's barely 24. He's been on the team for 15 years. Lafreniere, Kako, young. They got Brett Barad out there now. They got Will Cooley out there. Braden Schneider ain't old. You want to talk young. You can't replace these young, the guys who counted on that bailed out. It's mutiny. Goddamn mutiny. They should be hung from the bridge.
Drawn and quartered.
What are you going to do? There's no answer. They are stuck in some kind of, they can't move the guys because they fucking gave them ridiculous contracts. That's on past GMs and past whatever. You're counting on a bunch of stiffs. Mika is never going to be what he was 2 years ago. He's not going to be it. What are you going to do? Kako sucks. He sucks. This guy was a second overall pick. And he was a consensus too. And there were idiots who were saying, oh, well, him and you is a flip-flop, but maybe, yeah, right. Dream on. He stinks. Johnny Brodzinski doesn't belong in an NHL lineup at all. I don't know why. The coach should be fired just for Johnny Brodzinski. We have to be subjected. The Johnny Brodzinski is the go-to guy to fill in. Keandre Miller stinks. He should have been benched after game 7. Send the message quick and early. Lindgren has just sacrificed every part of his body. He's done.
I don't get what's happened with Mika. He's only 31. When the hell have you ever seen a guy fall off a cliff like this at 31? He doesn't play a physical game. I mean, I could understand it if he was a physical player. Not really hurt a lot. I mean, is it still the after effects of COVID?
Oh, he's got the long COVID, Joe.
Got the long-term COVID?
He's too many kids.
Thank God he's playing for Sweden in that 4 cups.
God.
4 countries, no cups or whatever it's called.
Maybe he'll get a career-ending injury and the Rangers will get out of it.
Jeez.
I'm not wishing. I just said maybe. I'm with Eddie, too. Bring Offman up here, too. I think that's the only way they could salvage this shit is if they could come up with, again, I'm bargaining. I'm looking for these young guys who are still hungry. I see, Brett Berard, for all he is he's like a water bug out there. He's not stopping. He ain't looking at pucks. He ain't bringing. He's trying to get an opportunity. Will Cooley, same thing. Now, that kind of play has a limited shelf life. Those guys come up, they're all energized, they have a few good games, and then it peters off. But with Will Cooley, they got to bring up Rempe. That's my first agenda now. I have my first plan. Bring up Rempe because why not?
This is Eddie's 1,000 points of light.
I mean, although Lonnie thinks he's a horrible hockey player.
Right.
I will go against you, Lonnie, and say that only good could come from got to be better. You want hitting? You want a forecheck? That's all that guy does. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Jim? That's all he does is forecheck and hit?
Mostly.
Is
Get
any
the
other
occasional scoring chance.
Yeah. You would think the Johnny Brodzinskis and these other guys they put on the 4th line do that? I don't think putting Chris Kreider on the 4th line, like you said, is the answer. Eddie, I got to tell you, it's like my doppelganger is here. This guy, Eddie, is saying everything I'm saying. You sure I'm not typing this? All right. Thank you, Lonnie. As long as we can have a civil conversation.
Right.
About the New York Rangers.
All we have here is civil conversation.
Yeah, we're all Ranger fans. Fuck the rest of the league. Fuck them.
We don't infight here. I mean, occasionally there's a dust up, but nothing serious.
No.
So
You're right, Izzy. They need that. You got to get Dr. B down in that locker room. Well, Jim, that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. But I will tell you this.
Uh-oh.
Regardless, Monday night, December 23rd, Eddie and I will be back live with our yearly Christmas show. It's always a fun one.
Oh, yes. It should be.
And we've got a special ready to go. It's already made. It's in the can, as they say.
Oh, wow.
A special Christmas intro, which we've never had before.
Oh.
So, little Christmas flavor for our special Christmas, our holiday spectacular. So we will see you Monday night Let's hope they figure this out by then. A couple of wins. Is that too much to ask for? A couple? Just a couple?
Yeah, come on. String something together. Throw me a bone.
Oh, well, that's right. I forgot. The Rangers actually have a game Monday afternoon.
Oh.
They're playing at 1:00 on the 23rd. So then we'll see you Monday night. So we may need Christmas cheer. We may need some Christmas cheer by then.
I may be drinking for that show.
Right. The Rangers play tomorrow in Nashville, Friday night against Dallas, Sunday afternoon.
Crematorium.
Once again, the NHL showing that it really has its finger on the pulse of the sports fan. A Sunday afternoon game in Carolina during football season, and then a Monday afternoon game in Newark against the New Jersey Devils. And then the Rangers will take their Christmas break.
Yeah, their misfit toy fucking parade.
So at the end of the day, as Dave Maloney would say, you just got to play better. They got to get better. They got to compete. You got to compete. That's what Dave's always saying. You got to compete.
Well,
all right, let's poll the chat before we say goodnight. There are 124 people watching this program live. So chime in the chat. Is Peter Laviolette still the Rangers coach when we take to the airwaves next Monday night? I want to hear. For Eddie, you first. Yes or no? I'm going to say no.
Yay.
Eddie says yes. Okay, one of us is going to look awful smart, and one of us is going to look pretty stupid by Monday night. Hey, the Rangers might win 4 in a row, and I'll be the one that looks stupid.
No.
Eddie, your doppelganger, Eddie.
He even agrees with me.
He's not going anywhere. Ron Kaminsky says Drury pulls
Eddie. A lot of people saying yes. Oh, Quenville, stop. You're just baiting me now.
Most people are saying that Laviolette will still be the coach next Monday night. I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
I have a feeling he will not be.
Margaret says if they lose to Nashville, no.
All we know is it won't ruin Drury's Christmas.
Yes. Who fires the coach? Well, watch them.
The pride of Bayonne is here. The Horace Man Tiger, Tony Stanziano.
Yes. He always shows up at the end of the show. Where are you? The man who brought us Peter Laviolette, Tony Stanziano.
He always gets here right as we cue the music.
Yeah.
As soon as Doc Severinsen starts playing, Tony ducks in.
Okay.
That's just a roster freeze, though, isn't it? Is there a coach freeze?
Thank you for joining us, guys. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see so many people coming to commiserate with it.
I'll let you say the good night. You did a great job with it last week. Do it again.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming out. Click the bell, subscribe to the Blue Shirt Underground here on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Join Patreon. You get game recaps from Jim over here. Sometimes I join him. Fucking worth every fucking penny. Now, everybody go to sleep and pray we beat Nashville.
Good night, everybody.